So I've been apartment hunting for the past 1800 years, and I've only almost died a handful of times, so that's good. One of those times was whenever I was looking at apartments, and I thought, wow, this is very nice for $1,500 a month in rent, and they informed me, no, it's $15,000 a month in rent. And I was like, well then, at least can I have the apartment on the top floor? Because that would make jumping out my window a bit more successful. I did not move there. The problem is that it's pilot season, and so all of the actors have moved back into Hollywood, and now that they've moved back, they've taken all of the good and yet inexpensive apartments. So after looking at like all of these apartments right here, I finally found a really nice one, and I was inches away from signing a lease when all of a sudden this strange man creeps up behind me and whispers, "Whatever you do, don't move here." And before I could inquire further, he disappeared. So in the spirit of not getting, Hansel and Gretel'd, for lack of a better term, I decided to continue my search until I found one other lovely apartment down the road, only to discover that a man had been murdered there not that long ago. So the choice was then between living in a place that could be infested by evil Kaleb eating witches and Murdersville. So I geniusly chose Murdersville. Now my rent is going up, but I'll soon have a delightful little apartment of my own where I can set up my studio in my living room. And the good news is my books are still selling, and I'm getting about 1 million views a month on this channel here. So thank you for helping pay my rent. Which I suppose is a good way to lead us into the question of how much money do authors make? It's kind of funny because this is one of the most often asked questions that I get when I go to book signings, and I never really know how to answer it politely. Because honestly, it's a little bit like walking up to someone and going, "How much money do you make? Are you rich or poor? Why am I shaking a suit coat without a person in it?" But at the same time, it's a very legitimate question, especially if you dream of making a living off of writing one day. The truth is that every author's pay is different, and an author kind of gets paid 2 different ways. When I finish writing a book, my agent takes my book to publishers, and then publishers, if they like it, make an offer with what is called an advance. An advance is a bit of money that a publisher is willing to pay up front in order to buy a book. The more copies that a publisher thinks they can sell, the more that they're going to offer for the book. For example, Stephanie Meyer got $750,000 for the first 3 Twilight books, which is a little bit unusual because most advances don't go that big, especially for a first-time author. But her publishers, Little Brown, knew that the books would sell, so they knew that they could offer her a lot. But publishers don't always predict correctly, because J.K. Rowling only got about $4,000 for the first Harry Potter book. Book deals can go anywhere from nothing into millions of dollars. But that's the first way an author makes money. See, if J.K. Rowling only got $4,000 for Harry Potter, she would actually be writing on napkins these days, and probably so abysmally depressed that she'd have given up writing altogether. Authors also get paid what are called royalties, which means for every copy that I sell, I get a little bit of money. Royalties are usually for about 10% of the cover price, so that means that if a book sells for $20, then the author gets about $2. When you have something like Harry Potter, which has sold over 450 million copies, that math adds up to something along the lines of, carry over the one, a little over $4,000. The only catch is that before an author actually gets a royalty check, they have to earn their advance back. So before J.K. Rowling got paid anymore, she had to earn back $4,000 worth of book sales, which, considering circumstances, probably did not take very long at all. But before someone like Stephanie Meyer got paid more, she had to earn back $750,000 worth of sales, which probably did not take very long either, considering they exploded. So really, how much money an author makes is dependent on what you do. If you buy a book you like, and then you tell your friends about it, and then they tell their friends about it, and then they tell their friends about it, pretty soon thousands of people are buying a book, and I can pay my rent and hopefully bribe away the murderers. Why do I put myself through these terrible adventures?
Kaleb, it's his blog you wanna see, and his videos will help you get by, so make sure you subscribe.